Hello again, everybody. Harry Boxer, the technical trader at TTWO.com. It's Thursday, the 22nd of March. Nasty day on Wall Street. These are the charts of the day, by the way. You can see that the picture is worth 1,000 words. We've had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave decline and a little 3-wave corrective. If this is 1 and 2, and look at 3. 3 can take me down to 66.20 and 26.20. And if we get there tomorrow morning and we get a real oversold condition, that might be it for at least that leg until we get another rally back. But for now, let's take a look at the quick look. The hourly picture shows that the long-term channel may have been broken, and that key support beneath here is in that 66.50 area, something like that, 66.40.50. That would be down there near this zone, and we'll have to just see if we can get a follow through to the downside. Looking at the big picture on the S&P, after a 5-wave move up and a corrected pullback, we then went 1, 2, 3 again, but this time we came down in a 5-wave decline. Take a look at where today's low is and where these lows are here. This is a zone of support right where we are, and at the bottom of the channel, if we plunge or gap down tomorrow, we could really implode towards the 25.90 area, 95. And then we'll see where we go from there. The measured move would take me down to that zone anyway. So that's where we are right now, and it's not a good picture. I'll go over some longs and shorts for you today. Let's go to it. Starting with the longs, a KO, Collegium broke out of a base. We noted it last night that it might be breaking. It did pop and went all the way up to 1385 before backing off. Still, on a lousy day, it was up 68 cents, a good sign. Good volume increasing to 2.3 million. My targets are 15, 16.5, and 19.5 going forward. Should this one start to make that kind of a move. Another biotech we like is Collegium. And although the market was down today, this one popped as well. Only up a small fraction, but we're off the lows and about to, or at least it appears like it might be, breaking out of this wedge pattern. Yes, it's got to get through the 30 area, but if it does, look at the mid-high 30s. Big short position as well. Fusion popped, put a day trend on it. It closed fairly well, 311 up 40 cents or 15%. 830,000, the biggest volume on an up day in about 8 weeks, 7 weeks. So you can see that's on a breakout day. If we can get it up through today's high, and then we got a shot at extending this towards the 4.25, 5 range. Giron, an explosive move like the likes of which we haven't seen in a while, but to go from 205 to 668, or more than tripling in about 2 weeks. Obviously, we kept talking about momentum and that it's overbought, but it could extend. Well, today's blow off at 62 million, unheard of for the stock, to me is a sign the stock may need to pull back, consolidate. Wouldn't be surprised to see it somewhere in the 4.5 range, if not as low as 3 3/4 over the next week or two. Careful with that one. Well, GES exploded and had a big breakaway move of 440 up 28%. The volume was 14.8 million, the likes of which we haven't seen it in a long time. It closed above everything. It might be headed towards 22 and 24, my next targets. Big move, great close. Thinly traded Innovate Biopharmaceuticals, after popping and wedging, it broke out again today. The volume wasn't huge, but for sure, if this thing gets up about 25, 5.5, 26, 25.80, it could explode into the low 30s. Something to watch. Land's End broke out of a consolidation and popped nicely up 440 or 26%. Now I'm looking for 25 and 28 going forward. Intelligent popped out of a downtrend, popped out of a wedge, maybe headed towards resistance at the gap at about 420. Beyond that, a gap fill gets you to 5, something to keep an eye on, possibly reversing it. Upland Software, well, the swing is working great after it popped and consolidated, where it ran again, and now it's wedged and gone again after coming down this bullish engulfing day, up 78 cents at 2.6%, but a couple points off the low. Looks great with volume increasing. The stock could very well move into the 33, 34 range. Now look at some of the ETFs, the bears. The SPXU. And if I look at this as a 3-wave corrected falling wedge here, the sharp one, and they all look alike. This broke out of the wedge, couple days ago it stalled, held the moving average, and today popped down a breakaway move. If this gaps up tomorrow or runs further, 12.5 and 13.25 are your targets going forward on SPXU. TVIX up 25% today, broke out of the wedge as well, and did it on 86 million, the biggest volume in 8 weeks. I'm looking for a test of 11 tomorrow morning, maybe as high as 14 if the market implodes. Keep an eye on that one. And lastly, the UVXY, which looks exactly the same, exploded for not 20% today, up 309, closing at the high for the day. Your targets are 21, 24, and then again, if the market goes ballistic, 28.30 zone. That's a little bit of some of the longs. On the box of short side, let's take a look at them. Stocks I picked out for tonight are AEIS, which looks pretty ominous. That bear flag, a three-wave corrective, much like the markets did today, could roll over and roll over hard and finish this head and shoulders pattern after the breakdown and snapback. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, I think wave 5 takes you to 55 for 12 points. Keep an eye out. AGX, the box has swing short here in the 46 range, worked as it went down to 38, popped, and now it's rolling over again. Looking for more downside? I am. I think this is headed towards 36, and then 31. Swing short BITA really has been working well. The December swing short around 32 did run up to 40 before rolling over hard, now 22 and change. Looks like an $18 stock coming up. CAI, a swing short there, a roll down hard, and a bounce to resistance. Next target, 17. EPC broke his wedge a few days ago and it still continues lower. Right now you see it's at support here, headed for potentially 40-42 zone. NTRI, well this one worked, and how? And after getting crushed and having a rising bear wedge, it's rolling over yet again. My target's 24. Dave & Buster's breaking this wedge and coming down. Looks like a test of this low here, near 37.5, 38 would be your next target. Scott's Miracle of Gold broke his wedge a week ago and continuing today, accelerating down 349 or 4%. I'm looking for a test of 81, beyond that 73. TrueCar also accelerating after breaking this large consolidation. You can see how the declining top line held it. Now it's fall away mode, 8.25 and 697 are targets. TTWO software down a bit today, 234, 2.2%, and closing at the lowest level on a closing basis since way back here in October. But if this head and shoulder top is completed, this might very well start to accelerate lower. First, to test about 88.9, and then maybe we get down towards the 80 range, 81. Finally, W has been really rolling over after getting hammered here and snapping back to the moving averages and filling the gap partially. The stock then rolled over hard, and you can see where it is right now. As a matter of fact, today it closed below the trend line and right at or near support at the 68.5 level. If we break that, we may very well fall into the mid to high 50s. Folks, that's an ugly picture and a review of the longs and shorts that I want you to see. Tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day. Fasten your seatbelts. HB out.